I'm gonna hate myself at the end of this while I do editing, but I'm not pulling out 18 books from my bookshelf. So let's do my 2025 reading wrap up. I am so excited but so overwhelmed by this video because, like I've mentioned before, I can't review a book or come up with the right words, like where it actually sounds good, to save my life. So this will be very, very interesting. But, we're gonna try our best because I did a poll on my Bookstagram for what YouTube video I should film and post for this week, and a lot of people on my Bookstagram chose books read in 2025. So we're gonna officially do a video about my reading wrap up where I'm gonna attempt is the key word, to actually put my reviews and like my thoughts about these books into words. So I made a tiny little list, which you probably can't see, but I made a little list of the books I read, and my goal for last year was 15 books, and shockingly, I outdid myself and read 18 books. So very, very proud of myself for that. But okay, let's jump into it. So the first one is the Edge of Darkness series by Lee Rivers. I did not understand the hype of this series at all. Like, at first, let me rephrase that. I did not understand the hype for this series at first, because now I do. I devoured that series. I did not want it to end, so I definitely read it slow, but I loved it with my whole heart. It made me feel every single emotion. I love Caden, Stacy, and Tobias Mitchell. If I could give the ultimate like daddy reward, like little trophy to anyone, it would be Tobias motherfucking Mitchell. Okay, here you go. Here's a trophy. Daddy of the Year award. Okay, I loved that man so much. I kind of wish that I read Psychotic Obsession, which is Tobias's book, before Edge of Darkness, so I kind of knew Tobias and Arya's, and why am I forgetting his name right now? The other man's, I forget his name. Don't come for me. I have so much in my brain. So, okay, whatever the other man's name is. I'm like, so we could have known their history before going into Edge of Darkness. But at the same time, I feel if I read Psychotic Obsession before Edge of Darkness, I would not love Tobias as much as I do. Because in Edge of Darkness, he is like a whole new person than Psychotic Obsession. And I'm so glad we saw that. And I don't know. There was just so much trauma in those books. Like, please, if you're gonna read them, read the trigger warnings, because there's a lot of stuff that happens. But it's definitely a good dark romance. There's some shit that goes down. Fucking Cade, I don't care what that man says. He loves Stacy, and they bow chicka wow wow on a motorcycle and in other freaky ways. So, I don't know. If that sounds like up your alley, go read that. Okay, and then speaking of Lee Rivers, so my first Lee Rivers book was Little Stranger by her. The first book, I've not read the second book yet, but I definitely plan on reading that this year because I guess my babies from Edge of Darkness are in that series. So I will be reading in that book. So I will be reading that. But yeah, so I started with Little Stranger, and that book, I have never read a book with foster siblings where they, get it on. So that was fun. That was new. There's a screwdriver scene where he uses it in a certain way. There's Malachi, and I think her name is Olivia. I don't know. Hold for a second. Malachi, because I feel like Olivia's wrong. I feel like that is completely wrong. Okay, no, actually, I was right. Shockingly. Okay, so, yeah. Okay, so it's about Malachi and Olivia. It focuses on Malachi's obsessive love for Olivia and his fight to keep her from enemies who want to claim her. I looked up Little Liar, which is the second book. So it's fine. So it's definitely like a taboo romance, dark romance. Please read the triggers. He has a gas mask. We love a hot mask man in this household. Okay. It goes from like when they first met, like when he came and became the foster sibling, how it all starts, you get that. And then it goes into the future because something happens and there's a really fucked up scene with the father, and I don't know, he signed something that's hot, because he's mute. He does not speak, but he uses, I think it's ASL. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's the term. But he uses that, and it's so hot, and I probably should not have loved it as much as I did. But, highly recommend. I'm so excited to read the second one. And, yeah. It's very taboo and very hot, and I need more of Malachi. Next, we have The Ritual. I started what's the series called? The Lords? Yeah, the Lords series. I started that, my little Lord's journey. Okay, I only read The Ritual and The Sinner so far, and I ate those right the fuck up. I read those so quick. Quick for me. May not be quick for you, but quick for me. I loved The Ritual. It's a very unpopular opinion I've been seeing. I loved that book so much, maybe more than I loved The Sinner. Definitely loved The Sinner, and I'm so excited for Tyson's book, which I believe is the next book that I am about to read. So, very excited for that. They're basically like lords, and there's a secret society, and you have to have a chosen, and there's just some chaotic shit that happens. They wear masks. Yeah, they're in college. It's college, dark romance, thingy-majob. But so The Ritual, I would have to say 5 stars. Gonna go with that. I have to say 5 stars. I have no clue where I'm gonna put it. Somewhere here. But The Ritual was 5 stars. The Sinner, I would have to say like 4.5 stars. Because I loved it, but definitely not as much as the first book. So then we have Trick Shot. That was one of my last books for last year. I listened to it in audiobook form, and it was a very spicy book. That is the best possible way to put that. I listened to it at work and don't recommend. Do not recommend listening to Trick Shot at work. This book is about these two people who meet at an airport, and the one guy, the main guy, he has a twin who's like this big, like, hockey star or something, and he gets mistaken for the twin by the one girl, and it's just a whole throuple thing, and it's cute, don't get me wrong, I liked it, and the spice was spicing. Definitely needed multiple towels after listening to that. Definitely needed to go cool myself down in the bathroom at work. That was so fun. But yeah, I don't know. I forget what I gave it on Instagram, but I think now I would have to say like 3.5 because it was good, but I would not read it again. Okay. Next, we have Good Spirits. That was basically my only other Christmas read. Yeah, Trick Shot is a Christmas read. But okay, so Good Spirits. I loved that book so much. It made me cry. It made me freaking melt because of spice. I listened to it as an audiobook. I buddy read it with someone. And it was just such a good time. It's about, like, if you've ever seen what's the movie? The one with the Scrooge, the Christmas movie. Something. I don't know. But hopefully you know the guy gets visited from, like, Christmas past, Christmas future, Christmas present, and yeah. So it's kind of like that, but so much better. There's Nolan, and then Harriet. My girl, she is obsessed with candy canes. Nolan knows that. Nolan is a ghost of Christmas past, and he was a fisherman, and he was assigned to Harriet, even though Harriet did nothing wrong. So there's a little spoiler because it's very key into how it all ends. It makes it interesting, but 5 stars. Absolutely 5 stars. They are the cutest little beans, and I love them so much. I wanna BK Borson like does this little ghost drawing for the Good Spirits copies when she signs them, and I'm like trying to get it somewhere tattooed on me. I want something having to do with this book tattooed on my body. So if that should tell you that you need to read this book immediately, please. Next up, we are gonna start speed rounding this because okay. Next, we have Pound It in the Patch by Dana Leanne. I read this as an ARC read because I'm on Dana's street team. I love Dana. I recently met her at Sinners and Stardust, the book convention in Boston. And Pound It in the Patch, it was, I forget, I think I gave it 4 stars because it was really good, but it also, near the end, I think near the end is when it kind of got iffy for me. But basically the guy like recreates the FMC's like dream of being chased through a pumpkin patch, and there's corn on the cob involved somewhere in there, and it's definitely a really good read. Definitely recommend, especially for spooky season. But I don't know, I ate that shit up. I was there for this month. Also a Masked Man. Okay, next. Then we have Caught Up, the second book in the Lights Out series by Navessa Allen. I gave that one, I believe, 4 stars because I love my little Nico baby, but Josh Trophy, Josh is better. Don't come for me. Even though I have the Gemlin Nico card, I loved Caught Up. It was definitely good, and there's some mafia shit in it. The spice is really good, and I love that Navessa included, I forgot what I was gonna say, but I don't know. I really liked it, and I love the, like, forbidden thing, and she's a sex worker. He's in the mafia. Like, I don't know. I loved it, but Lights Out will forever be number 1 in my heart. So, yeah. I don't know why people wanted me to do this video, because I just be yapping. My reviews are all over the place, and I swear, I'm trying to get better. I promise. Okay, anyway, next we have Haunting and Hunting Adeline. Those were my first reads of the year, last year, I believe. They were my first ever audiobooks, and let me tell you, they were so fun. So fun for my first ever audiobooks. Teddy Hamilton, I believe, is who did the voice of Zaid, and yummy. I absolutely loved Sibby, and I definitely liked Haunting Adeline more than Hunting Adeline, but I loved the, like, plot and everything for Hunting Adeline. I think it was just a little bit too much, so definitely read the triggers. I don't know how to explain it, but it was definitely really, really good. I do get the hype for Zaid. I wouldn't make my whole personality these books, but definitely recommend them. I'm currently reading Where's Molly right now. It's one of my first reads of 2026. So I'm loving the universe. I love H.G. Carlton. Excuse me. So, The Spice. This book series, the Hunting Adeline series, has a lot of controversy, whatever the word is, because this man has a pew pew and shoves it somewhere, and he stalks her, which I believe this is my first ever, like, stalker romance. But I don't know. There's a lot of trigger warnings. So once again, read your trigger warnings. I rated it 5 stars, and Hunting Adeline probably, like, very on that thin line of 4 stars, like 4.5, but, like, I'm gonna say still 3 stars. I don't know. I forget what I put for Instagram, but right now it feels right saying basically 4 stars, but not fully there. Okay. Next, we have Lovelight Farms by B.K. Borison. I loved this book. It was I think this was my first small town romance. It was honestly really good. I have to read the rest of the series, but I just haven't been in the mood. I love the friends to lovers trope. She owns a Christmas farm, which was a really, really cute read for December last year. January last year. It was really, really cute. There's friends to lovers. There's a competition thing that makes them, like, click. Like, I don't know, just B.K. Borison. She writes really, really good romances, and they mean so much to me, especially her newest books, and I'm so excited for And Now Back to You, and the next book in the Good Spirits universe. I just love them. I believe I rated Lovelight Farms 4 stars because it was really good, but definitely didn't get me fully. I gotta figure out how to rate my books, because I don't know. It definitely wasn't bad. I'm not gonna rate it a 3, but it wasn't like the most amazing thing I read, but it did touch me. It did touch me here. Okay. Next we have Jacked Up. I buddy read this with these girls I met from Sinners in Stardust in Boston. Fucked up. Absolutely fucked up book. Don't know why I put myself through that. 2 stars. I don't even know how to go and describe Jacked Up. Do not know how to go about it. It's about a clown. Well, a Jack in the Box. He has a springy, you know what? When he combusts, it's confetti. People to get him out of the box and to like get him stronger, and he's a demon, and it hurt my brain. The smut was definitely smutting and had me feeling some things that I probably shouldn't have been feeling about a Jack in a Box, but yeah. Would I recommend? If you want to hurt your brain and be like, why the hell did I read this? Absolutely. And if you want a fun read, that you can talk about forever, absolutely. But if you're expecting the best book in the universe, the best plot, all that fun stuff, no. Please don't. 2 stars. Okay. And then To Lighten the Mood. Are we already there? Oh. Fearless. By my lovely, lovely, lovely Lauren Roberts. I met her last year and I love her so much. I listened to Fearless at work, and it was such a good ending for the Powerless series. I like my babies. I'm trying to not spoil anything, but if you don't want to be spoiled by the Powerless series, please don't listen to the next whatever. You can zoom through. I'll have the next review popped up right here. But for now, let me yap about my babies. So, okay. Are you gone? Did you skip? You're not here? Can I spoil? Okay. So, my babies got their happy ever after. We found out that technically Kit and Peyton are related, and that her father wasn't her father. But I don't know, just the fact that my babies, my Kai and Peyton, got married and they had a kid and named it after Kit because my baby Kit died. I don't know, that just made me so happy, and I don't care about anything else. They ended up together, and I'm so excited. I still gotta get to Fearful so I can read Kit's story. But I don't know. I love the Powerless series. Don't care what anyone says. Go read the Powerless series if you're into fantasy, romance, if you're into love triangles, kind of, if you're into like sword fights, the Hunger Games, stuff like that. I will forever recommend the Powerless series. Forever. I love them so much. I have a tattoo you probably can't see. I have a tattoo from Powerful, which is a Dina story. Just count the stars. I love that series. Okay, and then last but not least, I believe this is my last one. Yeah, last but not least, we have the best book besides Edge of Darkness. The best book of 2025, hands down, Cowboy Motherfucking Casual by Holly Renee. It was my first ever cowboy romance, my first ever, like, small town cowboy romance. I don't know. If I could give a book 100 million billion quadrillion stars, I would. This book was so cute, so sweet, so spicy. It's my first ever like single father, single parent book. Colt Calloway, my man, my man, my man. Like that, Where's My Husband audio? Yeah, that man. That man. Daddy Colt. Love him. It's like this girl goes back to where she grew up and sees her one true love after being a messy thing, and they reconnect, and he has a really adorable daughter, which is not something I ever thought I would say because I do not care for kids. I would rather not read books that have kids in it. But I loved Ruby. I loved that little child. And just their connection, the little family, the community, everything. It was so fun. Like, I loved it. I could go on and on about this book. I plan on getting a tattoo for it, so if that says anything, please read it. If I could recommend you one book from what I read last year, it would be Cowboy Casual. Just go read it. But I think that's all the books I read last year, and I can't wait to see where 2026 brings me. I'm already in the middle of 3 books that I'm very excited about, and I already know at least one so far is going to be a 5-star read, so I can't wait. I can't wait to hear everyone's wrap-ups at the end of the year. Let me know what your number 1 read for last year was, and I'll check it out. Thank you so much if you watched the whole thing, and I'll see you next video. Bye.